Всем привет, с вами Даша, и мы продолжаем играть в Вампира. И теперь нам надо спасать больницу. Зато не придется теперь лечить кого-либо, так как в прошлой серии мы хороший выбор сделали. И вот. Но прежде нам надо пройти к Элизабет вроде бы. Итак, мы дошли до особняка Элизабет. И вот мы тут. Так, можно отметку убрать. И искать, где она. Значит, на втором этаже. А вот и она.
Elizabeth, I'm so happy to see you. I was so concerned.
It is also good to see you in these darkened hours. Is all well, my dear?
Indeed, we stand upon the precipice. Has the news reached you of Edgar Swansea?
No. I returned home but moments ago. What of him?
Your friend, the well-informed old Bridget, tells me the Guard of Prewin has assaulted Pembroke. I fear Edgar tops their bloody list.
Bridget? She is such a tragic figure. And yet, I sense deep inside, she has a delicate, fragile soul.
What are you hiding? You went to the sewers. Did you speak with Harriet Jones?
Indeed, Jonathan. I seek the truth, just as you do.
I was concerned for your safety. McCullum draws too close to you for my comfort.
Fear not. I've evaded the hunters for many a year, and I intend to stay far from their gases, flames, and spikes. Now, speak to me of Dawson.
I convinced Aloysius to embrace death as the ultimate gift of mortal life. I believe he found peace in the end.
The cost must have been heavy indeed. I am proud of you, my love.
Ascalon has defrocked me and threatens to hound me from the city. This was, no doubt, inevitable.
You did what you thought was right at the time. One can ask no more. The important task now at hand is to help poor Edgar.
Now I am assured of your safety. That is precisely my intention.
Good. Now go, my dear, and return with good news with the greatest haste.
Ну а теперь мы можем пойти спасать больницу.
What is this truck? Are the vampire hunters here already?
Go on back to the shadow! Look, it's on to us! I hear leeches.
Так, тут какой-то ад произошел. Меня тут встретили. А тут почему-то все спокойно. Или они еще не успели дойти?
Those bastards. What have they done to Edgar?
А нет, успели. Ну, пошлите по
Looks like he's
крови.
wounded. I better follow the blood.
Мне почему-то так и казалось, что он будет на 3-м этаже. Снова загрузка.
Ultraviolet curtains and orichalcum powder. Dr. Swansea's always been a resourceful bastard. I bet he never told you he had this installed in case of a vampire attack. Says a lot about how much he trusts your friend.
What have you done with Edgar?
Don't worry. We don't kill humans. Even if your friend is deserving of a little punishment for what he did.
What are you talking about?
We know everything. Swansea and you created this bloody epidemic. You aim to unleash another disaster, just like William Marshall did.
No, I'm trying to put an end to it. Just like you are.
You're its progeny, aren't you? Where is the monster hiding? It's still in England, isn't it?
I have no idea what you're talking about. Jeffrey, please listen to me.
No tricks. That shit won't work on me. We've found proof in the theater. Doris Fletcher was your first experiment. Now where is Marshall? Speak! So much for modern technology. Time for the tried and true. Do you know what this is, Beast? This is a drop of King Arthur's blood. The blood of a true defender of Britain. Stronger than your evil powers.
This is ridiculous. We're losing precious time.
True enough. Soon I'll bring your head before your coward of a father. Your poisonous bite is useless on me. Close your eyes! This is gonna hurt.
Что-то он как-то по уровню намного выше моего. Ну, ладно, 9, но все же. Многовато будет. Надо еще придумать тактику, как его убить, что по нем сильнее всего бьет. Сейчас будут такие моменты, чтобы понять, что по нем больше дамажит.
I'd like to see your goods.
Wise choice, Dr. Reed. A reliable gun.
Good evening.
Good evening, Doc.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital was attacked.
For months I said this day would come. We should have armed ourselves. Riots are rising. The end is near.
Goodbye, Milton.
Можно спросить у них про нападение на больницу.
Good evening, Nurse Brown.
Good evening.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital.
I'm okay. I don't think anyone's hurt, but we haven't heard from Dr. Swansea.
Do you think he's been taken then?
Yes. There's been shouts in his office, and then these brutes left the hospital without a word.
Goodbye, nurse. Call me if you need assistance. Good evening.
Dr. Reed.
Are you okay?
Yes. Can you believe it? Attacking a hospital of all places. Mindless savages.
Is anyone hurt?
No, but Dr. Swansea is missing. I believe they wanted money or drugs. Maybe these brutes will ask for a ransom.
Goodbye, Dr. Tippett.
Hey, Doc.
Are you all right? I heard the hospital has been attacked.
For a second I thought the bastards were here for me. They had guns and everything. Maybe they're a new gang trying to expand.
I'll leave you for now, Mr. Cox.
Оказывается, все же они все равно заболевают.
Hello again.
Jonathan.
Do you need my medical attention?
Oh,
I think you... Goodbye.
goodbye.
Gordy,
Do you need medical help?
you would say...
Don't...
I can...
Goodbye. Good evening.
I won't...
Do you need...
It's a little...
What can
I hope we...
You need...
And her son.
What do
Do you need...
it would have...
And I...
Thank you.
Good evening,
I may have...
Hello.
Do you need my medical attention?
Indeed.
You haven't...
Sounds so...
Goodbye. Good evening. Do you need...
I'm afraid...
I don't want to appear tact...
Says the doc...
Goodbye. Do you need medical...
I'm afraid...
You'll quickly feel better after taking this.
Thank you, Dr. Reed. I really appreciate it.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
You know...
Do you need...
Oh, yes,
I'm just doing my job.
Perhaps. But I have always been grateful for your concern, you know.
Итак, давайте попробуем
You down!
сразиться с повышенным уровнем.
Freewind prevails! The blood of a true defender of this land will protect me. Come on, Reed. Try something else. Show some style. True light will cleanse you. Your poisonous bite is useless on me. I'll pin you. I know. It hurts, doesn't it? Come on, true light. Close your eyes! This is gonna hurt. Prewin prevails! We are the guardian of justice. Prewin shall prevail.
You can't accept the fact we're not enemies, can you?
We always have been, and we always will be. Of all the evils that threaten mankind, your kind are the worst.
I'm not saying we could be friends, you and I. But perhaps we could collaborate to put an end to this epidemic.
Never! We are Prewin. We do not negotiate. We do not compromise.
There is no way you'll ever let me be, McCullum. You'll always hunt me down, won't you?
There is no escape, Leech. Kill me now. For there is no way you can sway me to your ideals.
That's where you're mistaken.
What do you mean?
I'll spare you, McCullum. I'll offer you the mercy you never offered me.
What is this ruse?
This is no ruse, McCullum. This is me letting you go. After all, you and I are both trying to save this poor country in our own way.
I'll kill you, Reed. Next time we meet, I'll end you.
See? Progress already. You called me by my name. Until the next time. Goodbye, Hunter.
А мне как-то не особо хочется тратить опыт. Я и так его с трудом получаю. Тут еще минус 1000. За 1000 я бы много что смогла бы улучшить. Ну, хоть один навык. Тоже хорошо. Снова мы идем в театр Дорис Флетчер. Но сначала надо будет улучшить навык. Даже 2. Так, я немного заблудилась. А нет, даже ничего больше я не смогу улучшить. Ну, хоть еще новый уровень взяли. Итак, тут были стражи перед выходом, поэтому их пришлось убить. И мы уже на месте.
So Prewin never left Doris's theatre after they invaded. They must be holding Edgar here in their new headquarters.
Так, здесь можно еще что-нибудь облутать новенького. Но там достаточно врагов. Ну, пошлите туда. Когда ты бьешь другой частью дубины, он, получается, не дамажится, а просто оглушается, и можно попить у него кровь. Это хорошо. Отчет Макалума.
Doris Fletcher was about to become a disaster. I'm getting close to having all the evidence.
Также нам дали какой-то ключ. От чего он неизвестно. Ну, там написано, типа, от театральной сцены или типа того. А, ясно. Ну, пошлите тогда в ту дверь.
I cannot enter.
Еще один сокращенный путь.
It's locked.
А эта дверь просто заперта. Ну, входим. Рыцарь-вампир. Так, мемуары Уильяма Маршалла.
Blood of a pure heart, garlic, blood of a king. I don't understand. Perhaps this is what McCullum drank. I had better keep that in mind.
Прикрепленная записка.
I should find the key to that box. It's locked.
Угу. Где-то на втором этаже находится ключ.
Edgar. Edgar, can you hear me?
Jonathan, is it really you?
Easy. Easy. Save your strength. I'm getting you out of here.
Don't try to spare me. As a physician, I know all too well when it's too late. Punctured lung, broken ribs, and internal bleeding. An accurate diagnosis, wouldn't you say?
Edgar, what happened?
They wanted me to confess. Beat me black and blue.
Jeffrey McCullum ambushed me at the Pembroke Hospital. He was convinced you and I were responsible for the Skal epidemic.
I never imagined that self-righteous fanatic would dare to attack us in the open. What became of him?
To prove him wrong, I let him go.
Really? Are you sure that was the wisest course of action?
Time will tell. The most intriguing part of his accusation was that you and I were the pawns of some ancient vampire.
William Marshall. Yes, they tortured me to make me confess the same nonsense.
I think you're hiding something, Edgar.
What do you mean?
William Marshall, for example. You speak of him as if you know him. How is that?
Jonathan, I cannot say I'm ready for another round of questions.
Why would the Guard of Prewin believe you and I created the vampire epidemic?
Maybe due to our profession? Because I offered you shelter in my hospital.
What can you tell me about William Marshall?
Not much. History paints the story he was the greatest knight who ever lived. Amongst the immortals, he had a yet greater legend.
Why is the Guard of Prewin so obsessed with him?
He was the only ancient vampire to escape the first great hunt launched by the Guard of Prewin in 1854. They believe he's an evil creature plotting his return.
Why would he deserve such a reputation?
I cannot say. The Brotherhood of St. Paul's Stole has next to no intelligence on him. All I know is that he's supposed to be the oldest of all the British vampires.
While investigating the epidemic, I read some of McCullum's findings. I think you have some explaining to do.
I have nothing to hide, Jonathan. Nothing at all.
Do you know Doris Fletcher's real name?
No, I'm afraid not.
Her real name was Doris Jones. She was the daughter of Harriet Jones.
What do you want me to say, Jonathan?
Do you remember when we suspected Sean Hampton of killing Harriet Jones?
Yes. The terrible episode that came as a shock to us all.
Harriet Jones faked her own death. When I found her in the sewers, she confessed she wanted everybody to pay for what happened to her.
That woman was extremely bitter, full of hatred and festering anger.
Doris Fletcher visited her mother at the Pembroke Hospital. That's how she first got infected.
I know nothing about that. Miss Fletcher once came to visit the sick. That is all I know.
No, Edgar, there is more. Doris Fletcher was Harriet Jones's daughter. They exhibited the same symptoms: blind hate and strong physical mutation.
What does this sad story have to do with us?
Do you know where we are? Doris Fletcher's theatre. This is where that hateful creature plotted to spread the epidemic across London.
I only briefly met Miss Fletcher once when she visited the Pembroke Hospital. You say it was to see her mother. She seemed like such a sweet and graceful woman.
My point exactly. The disease turned her into a bitter soul, driven by vengeance just like her mother. A symptom of all the infected patients.
Certain diseases are known to produce similar effects. Rabies, for example. And rabies is not the devil at work.
Come on, Edgar. Don't you see the pattern here? The epidemic, the link between Doris and Harriet, the suspicion of McCullum?
How could I? I never saw Harriet Jones again after she fled the hospital.
Doris and Harriet shared more than a hidden family bond. They were the embodiment of the epidemic and are linked to the Pembroke Hospital. Come on, Edgar, this is no coincidence.
I swear I'm at a complete loss. All I did was administer vampire blood to cure old Harriet. There was no evil plan, no diabolical plot.
You did what?
I tested the regenerating and healing properties of vampire blood on Harriet Jones. My only intention was to find the cure for influenza, I swear.
Whose blood did you use? William Marshall's? Mine?
Lady Ashbury's. While transfusing her with human blood, humanely appeasing her hunger, I also kept samples of her blood for my research.
You used her blood on Harriet Jones? My God, Edgar, that's unethical. You betrayed 2 of your patients at the same time.
I made a mistake. But what is science if not trial and error? We both know it, Jonathan, we both know it.
What a poor justification for your morbid fascination and thirst for glory.
You have worked beside me. You saw what I'm doing at Pembroke Hospital. Jonathan, you know I'm not an evil soul. Just another victim of this tragedy.
Ну, давайте обратим.
No, Edgar, you are not going to die. Unless you want to.
What do you mean?
I can save you, Edgar. I can turn your broken body into one like mine.
You truly would? After all I've done, after all that's been said, you would offer me this gift?
I have no way of knowing which punishment would be worse, Edgar. But it is not for me to decide. So?
Oh, please, Jonathan, please. I beg you. This is what I've always wanted. This is what I've always searched for.
Very well, then.
Потому что без главврача, мне кажется, будет плохо.
To face an eternity of guilt.
I'm ready. Oh, indeed, I am ready.
В районе.
Enough!
Ну, в общем, вот. У меня в минус очки пошли. Давайте, может, попробуем взять ключ от сейфа. Так, не туда.
This is despicable.
Over there!
I can now open the box.
Ну вот и все, ключ получен. Можно идти открывать сейф. Итак, мы на
Really
месте.
don't know if I should read this.
Личная записная книжка.
I can't believe it.
Это типа идет расследование, да? Ну да.
So Harriet Jones became the original carrier when Edgar gave her vampire blood. I must tell Elizabeth.
Ну пошлите к Элизабет. Теперь пошлите общаться с Элизабет.
What good fortune brings you back to me, Jonathan? What is it, my dear?
I'm afraid it's bad news, Elizabeth. The worst, actually.
Please, speak up.
Edgar is no longer in McCullum's grasp. I resolved that matter.
Where is our good friend now? Is he well?
Of a sort. His injuries were mortal. I had no choice but to make him one of us. To save him. Or to punish him.
To punish him? I fail to understand. And what is the source of this cold tone in your voice?
Edgar Swansea was responsible for the Skull epidemic, Elizabeth. It was he who unleashed the deadly scourge upon London.
What? Are you certain? This is the most terrible accusation of all.
He confessed everything to me. He sought to cure the disease, to exploit vampire blood to stop the epidemic. But he unwittingly gave birth to a catastrophe.
All those poor victims. How could he do it? What happened?
Edgar gave no heed to ethics. His theory could have been proven to be correct, but he abused the confidence of his patients to test it.
I must say I'm shocked, Jonathan. Who would have thought it? And the poor patient. Let me guess. It was Harriet Jones, was it not?
Yes. That explains how Doris Fletcher was infected, and how she became an Icor. She secretly visited her mother at Pembroke.
Then we have no choice. We must act quickly, Jonathan. We must return to the sewers and put an end to the threat poor Harriet embodies.
I have one more matter to discuss with you. Harriet Jones was the primary case, but do you know what a healthy carrier is?
There is a tone in your voice that frightens me, Jonathan. What are you trying to say?
It was your blood Edgar used for his experiment on Harriet Jones.
What? No. No. This can't be. Oh,
Elizabeth, are you all right?
no, I have to go.
What do you mean?
Leave me alone. Save the city, Jonathan. Save what can be saved.
Elizabeth, I need answers. Why did your blood
Stay
cause
away
this?
from me. Please. I swear I never was your
Wait!
enemy.
No! Elizabeth! It's locked, all right.
Я прочитала ингредиенты к противоядию. Видимо, сейчас мы остановимся тогда. Наверное, получится небольшая серия. Но потому что в следующей серии я планирую уже выполнять вот эти вот расследования. То есть мне кажется, что...
the recipe Marshall used when he fought the disaster. I think I know where to find what I need.
Ну, разве что еще поговорим со Суонси тогда. Ну, в общем, мне кажется, что уже пора выполнять расследование, пока не поздно. Ну, тогда, раз уж мы в больницу, соберем и ингредиент. Вопрос только, где он делся. Видимо, его пока нет.
I cannot use garlic, but there may be a substitute in the Pembroke Hospital drug storage.
А тут уже завоевали.
This is no place for you, sir. Please, sir, can't let you through. Bloody leech! I ought you to step back! Have faith, brothers! The power of the Lord commands you!
Don't like Bernie, does it?
It's fast!
There it is. Insulin. Much more efficient than garlic against blood poisoning and sepsis, and much less dangerous for me. Thank you, Dr. Polescu.
О случайных смертях. На этом все. Ссылка на плейлист группы ВК в описании. Всем пока.